Welcome back to another edition of Arizona Wildcats Insiders Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Hutchison. Arizona football is in full swing, and the Wildcats will be taking on number 25 Cincinnati, the Bearcats, who are 7-2. Arizona 6-3. 10 a.m. kickoff on Saturday. It's going to be a great game. I think Arizona is going to play a solid game. We're going to get to that game pick in the next coming days as Arizona takes on the Cincinnati Bearcats with a 10 a.m. kickoff on Fox Sports 1. Again, Arizona, if they're able to go 3-0 down this stretch, being 6-3 right now, putting themselves at 9-3, they have a shot at an Alamo Bowl berth with going 9-3. But more realistically, and what we have right now is Arizona going 7-5. Having Arizona in the Sun Bowl or Vegas Bowl. I think those would be the bowl matchups for Arizona there. But there is a shot, and I think a great shot at 8-4, which would be phenomenal for Arizona and Brent Brennan, doubling their win total from a season ago. But we'll get more into that as the days go along. Real quick, I want to talk about, because Friday night we have a game, Arizona UCLA, number 5 Arizona versus number 15 UCLA, the next chapter in one of the most storied rivalry games in college basketball, one of the best rivalries in college sports, takes place Friday night in LA in the Intuit Dome in a neutral site game. But before we get to that and our game pick for the Arizona UCLA game and what should be one of the best games of the season and one that all Arizona fans and all UCLA fans look forward to every single season. Before we do that, we want to wrap up Arizona NAU. The Wildcats were able to thump the Lumberjacks 84-49. A little slow-paced game for a Tommy Lloyd game against NAU. There were some lulls throughout the game. Again, it's very hard when you have a group of 7 freshmen and about 4 or 5 of them contributing at a high level to keep interest in games like NAU, Utah Tech, Denver, when Arizona comes back from their 2-game road trip. It's hard. But luckily for Arizona, you have veteran leadership in Jaden Bradley. You have Tobe Awaka. You have Anthony Del Orso. And even though he is an underclassman technically, through the experience that he's been through in terms of injury and everything, Mo Krivas, that can lead this young group. And we're forgetting, not disrespectfully so, Evan Nelson as well. That can lead this, who's been through battles, that can lead this young group and keep them on the path of focus, because it's hard for freshmen to focus in those games. And we've seen a little bit of lull, but nothing too crazy. So good job by the veteran leadership of Arizona. Now against the Lumberjacks, Arizona shot 46% from the field. A little down, what would be a down game for Koa Pete. First 2 games, 48 points, averaging 24 points per game. Against NAU, 10 points, going 3 of 10 from the field. Did have a career high in rebounds with 9. Solid defensively, solid effort, but limited minutes as well. Only playing 18 to 20 minutes in a game where usually if it's a big time matchup, Cole Pete is playing 30 plus minutes. Braden Burry's kind of along the same lines. He got into double digits as well. Again, the game is what it was, but as we look at it, some positives for Arizona, a couple positives for Arizona. They got the turnover bug early, again, just like they did in the Utah Tech game, but they were able to cut down on that. Ended with 14 turnovers. I think if you're Tommy Lloyd, you can live with about 12 to 14 turnovers. I think you want to see that number get closer to 11. I think that's the ideal number. You're never going to see a Tommy Lloyd team, and it's not because they don't value the basketball. I want to make this clear. You're never going to see a Tommy Lloyd team be one of the top 10 in the country in fewest turnovers a game, because there's playing at such a high pace, such a fast pace, and so many possessions. It averages out to that. So let's say a team like, a slow down team like Wisconsin averages, let's say 6 turnovers, or UCLA averages 6-7 turnovers a game. Oh, they're top 5 in the country at turnovers per game. Yeah, but there's less possessions. Arizona, they double the possessions at times on some of these slower teams. So just because you have the ball in your hand more, you're going to have more turnovers. The important thing is that the assist to turnover ratio stay high. In the Tommy Lloyd era, we've seen anywhere from 2.5 to 3.4. So I think as long as you do that, you're fine. You can live with 11, 12, 13 turnovers in a game. Where you don't want to see is anything above 15. That's where you get in a little bit of trouble, but we haven't seen that so far this season. In the game against the Lumberjacks, the top 3 players, let's break it down real quick. Mo Krivas, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 4 block shots. I think it was his best performance as a Wildcat this season. Last year, I think he had a couple games that were a little bit better, but he's slowly developing and slowly coming back from his injury. So it's going to take a little time, but the first big game for Krivas and much needed. Arizona's going to need him. I don't think they need him to average double digits. I don't. I think they need him to average anywhere from 8 to 9 points per game. Give them 8 to 9 rebounds per game, kind of being consistent there. And a block and a half, maybe 2.1 blocks per game. If they're able to get a consistent presence in the paint, Arizona will be fine. Because let's face it, would Arizona love to have Henry Vasar back? Yeah, but he's at North Carolina. You got to make up for that production somehow. I don't think Krivas needs to make up for it fully because you have Koa Pete, you have Toby Awaka, but you need to see more production than you saw the first 2 games from Krivas. Number 2, Jaden Bradley. Again, not one of his highest scoring output games. 13 points, though, on 3 of 4 shooting, something like that. 3 of 4, 3 of 5. Only 5 shots to get to 13 points. Got to the line, able to draw fouls. Didn't have a high turnover number. 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Solid game for Jaden Bradley. Again, one of the calming forces for Arizona is Jaden Bradley being the veteran point guard that he is. It is a weapon Arizona will have game in and game out. Bradley is one of the veteran point guards in the country, has seen a lot of basketball, is in the system for the 3rd time. You don't see a lot of 3-year guys in the system. So to have that luxury of having a senior-driven point guard at the most important position in college basketball. The most important position in basketball is that point guard position. So Arizona's going to have the edge at the point guard position a lot this season, even though it's a talented Big 12 and a talented schedule that they have. Having Jaden Bradley is such an X factor for Arizona. He's a calming force. He calms down the freshmen. He gets everybody set up in the right direction. He's developed offensively. He's great defensively. He's great in transition. He has turned into an NBA guard. I'll say that again. Jaden Bradley will be an NBA guard. I didn't think I would say that 2 years ago. Hell, I didn't think I would say that last year. But what we've seen from Bradley, if he keeps up the progression that he's showing, he will be playing in the NBA. Rather that be a second-round draft pick or undrafted, he will be an NBA guard, just like Tommy was certain. And he was right on Caleb Love being an NBA guard. Lastly, Dwayne Aristotle. I think that is the biggest takeaway from this game. Dwayne Aristotle, a freshman that was dealing with injury his senior season, missed most of his senior season, just like Krivas missed most of last year with an injury. Has been slowly getting his way back. He's a 3-and-D type of player, very high talented guy. Probably would have been a 5-star recruit across the board if he didn't have that injury, and probably would be a top 15 recruit if those things didn't happen. Might even be in the starting lineup if those injuries didn't happen. But he was able to go 6 of 9 from the 3-point line, knocking down 6 3-point shots for 18 points, grabbed a couple rebounds, grabbed a couple boards, played some solid defense. But again, we talk about the 3-point problem. Who's going to step up and be the 3-point shooter for Arizona? Anthony DeRosso has got to be one of them. Braden Burries can be one of them. He has a good smooth stroke from the 3-point line. And Yvonne, I think, could be one of them. But Dwayne Aristotle, he could be the sharpshooter on the team. Does he need to go 6 of 9 every game? Of course not. But if you can get Arizona 2 of 5, 2 of 6, 3 of 7, 3 of 6, if you can do that, hell, 4 of 10. If you can do that and be that, and I don't think he's going to take 10 shots every night, but if you can do that and be that 3-point threat from the 3-point line, it spreads the floor. It creates more opportunities for Awaka, Krivas, and Koa Pete in the paint, creates driving lanes for Jaden Bradley and Braden Burries. So I'm excited to see his development. That was a great game for him, great game for Arizona. Now let's see how it translates Friday night against UCLA under the lights in the Intuit Dome.